synthesizer, you can do a new spooky theme.
Well, I could dig up the other theme tune that I was really pleased with that I dubbed onto the video and I sent it to you on Telegram years ago and send it to you again.
You can do if you want. I don't know. I just really like that one because it's like, I think it's good because it's very number stationy.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of funny actually because with the next theme tune I made, there was plenty of the numbers. I took the samples of the number stations, used it to make my own numbers in it.
Number stations, we need to do them. Number stations are great, but that cunt's fucking copyrighted them all, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think it's like the music and the specific sequence of numbers. Like if you just take a sample of, like someone saying a number, like for example, Boards of Canada sampled numbers from Sesame Street and put into their songs, and Sesame Street can't sue them for that because I don't know. There was something where they changed the law and what.
No, because we actually had our number station episode. We actually got a copyright strike from the people that own the copyright to the number stations.
Yeah.
Not a strike. It's a copyright claim, isn't it? Not a strike, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Imagine being the sort of person that takes something that people are finding on the airwaves and copyrighting it. Unless it's the government that owns, unless it's the person broadcasting it. Like you have no part in, you have no part in putting it out there. You have no part in making it. You have no part in any of it whatsoever. But for some reason, you think you can claim the copyright to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like here's an example of a personal experience I had with copyright stuff. I was doing a Let's Play of Dune, the 1992 Cryo one, but no, it was the Dune CD version, and I had the intro, which was actually, in fact, just the intro from 1984 Lynch film.
Yeah.
And I played it. I was talking in the intro, and I stopped it after a while. But even so, there was a copyright claim saying, well, this bit's got to be cut out or muted. And then the claimant was a Spanish music company because that intro is sampled in some disco song that's popular in Spain.
I had something like that. I had like a techno tune on one of my things, and it was completely the wrong song that had been claimed. I think there's like an element of AI for it, isn't there? I think.
I don't know. What strikes me as very odd about that is the fact that this Spanish disco song, which samples the intro of Dune, gets the copyright claim, and not say Dino De Laurentiis Productions, which produced the film. Yeah, but the intro. Okay, the music's by Toto.
Oh, it's the intro, not Toto, then, is it?
Well, no, it is. Princess Irulan's there, and she's giving a bit of exposition, and the music in the background's by Toto. But I would say the copyright holder for that is Dino De Laurentiis, isn't it? He's the production company that did it.
It's the sound, isn't it? It's the sound and not the movie. I need to ask Internet. I bet Interdimensional Lizard knows, or at least has an opinion on it.
Well, yeah, it'd be good to know that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just very, very strange, really. I mean, how is it that somebody's got a copyright on number stations?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Well, look, they're going to be wondering what's this? Is it just like, oh, we're going to talk about soldering irons and synthesizers for the rest of the show? No, there is actually there is a Fortean element to this autism power, right? So what I'll do, I've got it here in my bookmarks, and I thought, oh, you know what, this is probably worth investigating in the show. So if I go bookmarks, and then I go, oh, well, yeah, that's another interesting thing. Somebody asked, now I got a different response from Grok, but then again, my question was broader. It says, design a Dirac C generator. And then Grok responded with, I'm sorry, I cannot assist with designing a Dirac C device as it involves restricted subject matter. Just briefly, I forget his first name, but Dirac was an English physicist. His father was Swiss, that's why his surname's Dirac. And in 1930, he won the Nobel Prize for the discovery of antimatter. And he theorized about its existence before it was discovered. Um, Now, he described this thing called a sea or a plenum, where you've got energy in this vacuum, and that occasionally this energy manifests into actual physical particles, but it exists in a sea of negative energy, which he said doesn't make sense. So then he described a positron as the antimatter equivalent of an electron, and then experiments with cloud chambers then proved the existence of it. And the funny thing is, it's such a weird subject to talk about. Like, oh, surely that's not right. But because I was explaining to my dad about positron emission tomography, and he says, "What, you're telling me they put antimatter in somebody, but that would destroy them?" It's like, well, yeah, if you used a large amount, but it's like saying if you use a large amount of conventional radiation, you just vaporize someone. So I found out, because I thought what they were doing is they were like beaming a beam of antimatter into somebody, which would be very explosive. No. So what happens is you have a highly radioactive substance. Like hospitals like to use technetium a lot because it gives off a lot of beta radiation.
That sounds like
And the
something alien
beta,
people are fighting over in a science fiction film. It sounds nearly as good as an
yeah, yeah.
unobtainium. Than
Yeah, well, it is. And I just, I did ask a bit more about Dirac stuff, so we'll circle back to it briefly. I just realized this was going to be a brief explanation, but in short, I told my dad, no, they the antimatter generator is just some radioactive technetium. Most of the beta particles are electrons. Some of them are so high energy they're actually positrons. And there's a way when the positron smashes into a body, it makes imaging very easy, but I forget what is the specific use scenario for a positron. I think what they do is they put a
isn't
radioactive dye in your
positronic rays? Isn't
veins.
that something they use in Star Trek? It seems like one of those things because in Star
Yeah,
Trek they
oh
kind
yeah.
of use stuff, don't they? That's kind of
Well,
almost scientifically plausible, don't they?
they sort of do a nod to Asimov because they talk about Data's brain being a positronic brain,
Yeah.
and Asimov talked about a positron brain, and I think it was because at the time when he was writing it in the 50s, the idea of antimatter and positrons was new and very exciting. So it's like the nanotechnology of that era.
Before it turned into the
Um,
catch-all for lazy science.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, that was the bit. So anyway, the actual Fortean subject. Here we go. I will give you a copy of this link. Now I'll put it in the
I've actually
Fortean.
just found a study online as well to add to this.
What, of Dirac C
No,
with the
the other
plenum?
subject you wanted to talk about, sensory supernatural experiences in autism. So I've just found someone's
Oh,
done a study
okay.
on it.
Well, there's two different articles, but I thought, well, they're both worth talking about on the show today. So the first one is psychiatrist and researcher Darold Treferetz. That's it. Darold? Darold Treferet's comments on telepathy in autistic children end up being shared by Deepak Chopra as he strategizes funding for a research collaboration with UC San Diego professor Valenia Ramatraj. Oh, okay, so it's nepotism amongst Hindus. Anyway,
Which one
what's the
reading the top
important
one?
bit?
Melissa O'Connor.
Yeah, yeah. So I enjoyed participating in the Salk. So this is Melissa O'Connor saying, I enjoyed participating in the Salk conference electronically at least, but it is not a good as being there. I think she means to say it's not as good as being there. Had I been there on Saturday, is was my intent to discuss my involvement with paranormal skills in autistic persons, with discussions of my nearby case with that closed group. Fuck me. Is English? I don't think English is the first language, Melissa O'Connor. Or maybe. Do you think she's one of those people that when you bring up the fact that Ireland,
Maybe she's just a degree student.
Yeah. Well, do you think she's one of those
they're
people
extremely illiterate, aren't they? Degree students.
Yeah, but also I'm just thinking O'Connor. I'm especially sensitive to Irish names this week because an Irishman accused me of being racist when I pointed out that Ireland was part of the British Isles, and it's like, look, the archipelago of the British Isles is not a political union; it's a geographical designation for that area. Much in the same way that Switzerland is part of Europe, but it's not part of the European Union. I'm not saying that, you know, Ireland or Irish are inferior if they got a chip on their shoulder, or they get upset over the slightest perceived slight where they think some Englishman's having a dig at them. I'm not saying any of that. You might infer that.
Do you remember Harry Enfield's sketch about Europe? Where he was where he was a really posh bloke talking about Europe, and he was trying to explain that Europe is like a train, and it's better to be inside pissing out than outside pissing in. And he does this whole bit. It is quite funny.
Is that where he went on his gap year to Europe?
No, it's just like a big fat old boy, and he's telling about Europe, and he does the the outside pissing in, inside pissing out thing, but he does this whole thing about running along the platform trying to piss inside a train.
I can't remember who said it, but there was like some sketch I saw somewhere, and they were talking about going on the gap year. And I was like the time of gap year. And I was like, I
know what you mean, but I can't remember who was talking about gap year.
Gap year. I went on my gap year. I went to Belize on my gap year. Yeah, it was really, really good, you know.
Must have been someone doing stand-up. It must have been.
I worked with underprivileged youths in my gap year. It was really good. You know, I just completed my Duke of Edinburgh award and went on my gap year. Gap year. Right, so Melissa O'Connor, whose English is not her first language and has a degree, says, the tapes I have over these past 4 years are convincing indeed. Oh, no, so all of this stuff, right, is then signed Daryl A. Trefferett, MD. So this is all the stuff that Daryl A. Trefferett wrote. So also I'm going to assume English is his second language. And then it goes on to say, and now we got a new paragraph. Telepathy does exist among the persons I have seen and known. I'm less concerned about convincing the paranormal crowd of its validity than I'm convincing my professional colleagues.
I have always kind of wondered if schizophrenics aren't actually schizophrenic, but they're kind of hearing other people's thoughts. I've always wondered if that's a possibility.
I said a prayer recently. I said it in the name of Jesus that my friend who I said, look, he's got squatters in his mind. I can't cure them. He can't cure them. But with the power of Jesus, I would like them to be disinvited from his mind. I would like him to be the sole occupant of his mind.
Yeah.
And then hopefully once he's got free will, he'll realise certain errors he's made and make amends for that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to that. I just said, look, God, you're the only one who can help this man with schizophrenia, who was my friend. And I would very much like it if he could be cured somewhat. Who knows? But yeah, the schizophrenics, they are possessed by demons and they tell them to do nasty things, which is why they get so unhealthy and they self-medicate with alcohol and tobacco, because turns out, I think...
Doesn't it turn out that the alcohol and that actually increases their strength, not dissipates it?
I think it's that the demons enjoy pleasure and sensation. So alcohol and nicotine... Well, see, the thing is with nicotine, I heard it's something to do with dopamine, and dopamine works different in it. I don't know. The fact is, I'm going to put it very simply, the demons enjoy pleasure and sensation. They don't care the harm they're doing to the host because they're just in it for a ride and they'll find another victim once that one's used up. Um, all right, so back to what he's saying. So he wants to convince professional colleagues of its veracity, leading to more research on its origins and mechanisms, not just in persons with autism, but in all of us. We have all had the exact we have all had some ESP or telepathy experiences, but tend to dismiss them as UFOs and all the skepticism that accompanies them. Time for serious study. Look,
Yeah,
I'll say this.
every time I have a paranormal experience, I always it's UFOs every time.
Well, I think what he's trying to say is like there's a lot of people that when they encounter something they can't explain, they sort of brush themselves off and carry on as if nothing happened because it's a bit disconcerting. It's like, oh, well, what happened there?
Hmm.
So I can understand it from that perspective. Um, it happened to me today, actually. I was thinking about getting a phone call, and within what, a second or two of thinking about getting a phone call, I got it. And when the phone was ringing, I just thought to myself, well, who could that be? When normally I think about someone. Now, admittedly, I was thinking about this person before, but um, that was like hours before. Normally, I sort of think of them a few minutes before. So I thought to myself, my telephone telepathy was a bit off today. Uh,
Oh, the
yeah.
Archers is 75. Did you know that, Hobbit? That's
No, does
paranormal.
anybody
That's
still
paranormal.
listen
That
to it?
still goes on. It's just everybody's gay in it now, aren't they? Everybody has AIDS, AIDS, AIDS.
Well, if everybody's gay, then how do they reproduce?
I have no idea.
Oh, uh, right. So, point being is like we talked about telepathy on this show before because it's a perennial Fortean subject. But I'm trying to say that look, it's actually a fairly commonplace thing, and you may have experienced it yourself. You just don't realize. So, yeah, here we go. Time for serious study. Then the final paragraph says Epstein offers £25,000 to fund Ramachandran's Savant Syndrome research project, which Deepak Chopra directs to Epstein to send through the Chopra Foundation, as opposed to directly to UC San Diego. We see this reflected in Deepak's donations to the university. Perfect example of how these people use their foundations to move money around. Now, there's some letters here. What do the letters? Oh God, it's no. Uh, from Deepak Chopra to Daryl Trefrit. Let me know bare minimum for funding initial study, including collaboration with Professor Ramachandran. I'm pursuing Templeton Foundation. Does it say? Oh yeah, here we go. Telepathy does exist amongst the persons I've seen and known. I'm less convinced. Oh, we've already said that bit. What else have we got? So yeah, donation was made. $197,000. $197,607 was made. So nearly £200,000. $200,000. Oh, here we go. Good to Paul and so
Oh,
Daryl
on a
wrote
side note,
to
have you
someone.
seen this one? I don't know. It's from Martin Nowak to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey, I'm back. I am back from Rome. I'm in Vienna now. We'll be back in Boston on Wednesday. I met Svant Pabo from Leipzig. He sequenced his old bones, got a complete Neanderthal genome. You would like him. He knows church. The two of them could build a Neanderthal person.
What?
Yeah, they wanted to recreate an anti-Neanderthal.
Oh yeah.
They've got a whole genome. They've got a complete Neanderthal genome. These people that Jeffrey was speaking to.
Like the people funding that research may sort of bring that Neanderthal there and sort of look on it reverentially and go, "My ancestor,"
Yeah.
because they feel like they have been lessened by interbreeding with Cro-Magnon and wish to reinforce Neanderthal genes,
did
which
you read the OP? Because the OP is San Diego media has said nothing about the 3,000 plus email mentions of Deepak Chopra, Oprah's spiritual guru, the recently released Epstein emails. Blimey, that was hard to say. Meanwhile, UC San Diego appears to be quietly erasing its association with him.
yeah. So I got this letter, and it's got some numbers in it. So let's read them out.
Yeah.
Oh, what if I just read the numbers without any context? 300, 1, 3,500, 1, 59, 2013. Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I should put a bed of the Lincolnshire poacher underneath that.
or the Count from Sesame Street. So, Paul, good to hear from you and your interest in telepathy and autistic
I just
children.
keep thinking of the bit from do you remember Sesame Street by oh shit, it was the band that it was the group that did it. I can't remember what they were called.
Was it the Prodigy?
Smarties, that was it, wasn't it?
Smarties, that was it. Yeah, it was around about that time. Yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what if like we listened to the Sesame Street theme, but did a bunch of E and then sped it up and put samples on it?
Yeah.
And lo, Rave was born.
I'll tell you what, it's a shame, but it is a really, really good tune. I'm probably going to hell for this, but do you remember Stylophonia by Two Little Boys? That was a fucking banging tune, that was.
Hang on, let me just familiarise myself with this briefly. So Stylophone.
Yeah, Stylophonia by Two Little Boys.
Stylophonia.
Two Little Boys.
I tell you what I like is
because it's got Rolf on it. That's why it's problematic.
Oh right, yeah, because he liked his stylophone.
Yeah,
a lot of people shit on them, but I like the musical stylings of Zig and Zag.
They all love me. They love me. Them girls, they all love me.
Exactly. Oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, because when I heard it, I tell you what else it reminds me of. Do you remember James Brown is Dead?
Oh, no, that was completely different. James Brown is Dead.
James Brown is Dead.
Yeah. I've got
like
I've got a rave compilation with that one. LA something, isn't it?
LA style. James Brown is Dead, which is funny because they're from Belgium, but I found a
great one the other day. It's the Time Frequency doing the Jurassic Park theme.
Time Frequency. I had it was a 2x6 foot poster. No, not. Yeah, actually, yeah, because the record was 12 inches.
Yeah,
and it folded out twice, and and so I had. I've still got the album actually. The Time Frequency TTF.
Yeah, that's got Jurassic Park on it, isn't it?
Well, I don't remember about Jurassic Park. I just thought, hey, this sounds pretty good. I'll have this.
Yeah, I was going through some old rave stuff. Some old rave stuff online the other day, and I found the Time Frequencies album, and it's got the Jurassic Park theme on it, but like the rave version.
Right. Oh, the book's much better than the film, by the way. But that could be said of almost all of Michael Crichton's stuff. So, Paul is.
I don't know. Congo was a banger. Do you remember Congo with the chimp that could do sign language?
Never watched it. I tell you what was good though.
Congo's great. It's got what's his name? Spice. Tim Curry. It's got Tim Curry doing one of his usual insane foreign accents in it.
I like Tim Curry. Every movie, even the bit part he's got in Home Alone 2, I thought he was really good in that. He's a good actor. I don't understand why. You know
why his brain's dead. He's
Alzheimer's.
He's very poorly. I don't know what he's got, but he's very, very poorly, isn't he?
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, well, it's like Bruce Willis. I mean, Bruce Willis has got Brainerd's disease or something,
Yeah.
so he's all
Yeah, no, it's
doolally
just
now.
the wolf scrapping over the living corpse, isn't it?
Well, he is looking out for his children. I think that's very noble of him. So he's given permission for his AI likeness to be used in films, and I
Do you
don't
remember
know if
do you
anything's
remember when he
come of
took
that.
Apple to court for the right to give his daughter his Apple library? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't know that, but
Yeah, he did.
I,
Yeah.
I've wondered if it's been the same thing with Steam as well, because but the other thing is surely people just sort of unofficially say, look, here's my username and password for my Apple stuff, and you can
It's
have
one
it
of
when I'm
those
gone.
things, sometimes things happen and people don't verbalise it. It's the second people
Hmm.
start verbalising it that the trouble starts, isn't it? Like people just don't officially just pass passwords on, don't they?
Well, it's like I've often thought to myself when I'm sort of dead and buried, or even sort of before then, who will I pass my Steam library on to? Because I'm sure somebody would be interested. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, I've got a nephew. He might want it. It's like, hey, look, here's a bunch of games that I've bought since 2007, before you were born. You can have them all. I've given him all my Lego as well. He's ever so pleased with that. And so anyway, um, telepathy in autistic
Yeah.
children. There we go. In my recent review of our Savant registry, now over 300 plus cases, about 1% of parents or other reporters indicated ESP telepathy abilities in that sample. I'm just going to do a brief aside from this, right? I saw a thing recently and I just
Have you
thought, well,
done
that's
telepathy
bleeding
in
obvious.
Downs? Did you do that search?
No,
I
no.
might have. I'll have a quick look for that in a sec.
Just put them down.
Oh,
Just they're called downs because you're supposed to put them down. That's what they do in Iceland. There's no downies in Iceland. No one complains about Iceland's eugenics program,
yeah,
but we're not
there's
allowed to
no
have them here.
Eskimo word for pensioner either, is there? They just
Yeah,
strip them off and
exactly.
send them out into the snow, don't they?
Yeah, there's no Eskimo word for a drunk either. Uh, so, yeah. Now in
There's no French word for
this,
entrepreneur either.
George Bush told me that. Now,
Yeah.
I saw a thing recently where they said, "Oh, it turns out that autistic men are 5 times more likely than neurotypicals to find an autistic woman to be their wife, and this is much more than statistical happenstance." I was like, "Yeah, but it's bleeding obvious, isn't it? Look, if you're autistic and then you find someone else is autistic, then you're going to be rude to one another, but you're going to be honest, and you're going to sort of
Why is
find each other
psychiatric
tolerable."
morbidity? Is that a euphemism for uh, topping
Ah, right.
oneself?
No, no. So morbidity in this case, there's things called comorbidity, where if you have one condition, you're likely to have another. For example, people with autism, comorbidities of autism is OCD.
Hmm.
So you can draw a Venn diagram of people with OCD and people with autism, and you'll find there's big overlap between them.
Ah, so this is
So anyway,
psychiatric morbidity in adults with Down syndrome. I've just found.
yeah, yeah. So I don't think you'll find instance of telepathy in there because doctors don't really sort of say, "Oh yes, we notice amongst patients with these more comorbidities that instances of telekinesis is
Oh, night
increased."
terrors. They get terror. They get. Our experience would suggest that night terrors resolve
Nightmares.
in most children with Down syndrome.
What was this night terror? Why don't they call it nightmares? Why do we have to have a different word for
I think
nightmare?
night terrors is something slightly different. I don't know the difference.
No, I don't know. It's like I was trying to find out what's the difference between an impeller and a propeller. If you impel something, you bring it towards you. If you propel things, you push through it. But anyway, onto this thing. So anyway, it's like it sounded like they did this big sort of investigation into why autistic men and autistic women find each other. It's like because like attracts like.
Mm.
If you're dealing with someone that gets you, then you're more likely to be a friend, and in this case, pair bond. So back to this thing I'm reading out. Even in my most recent acquired savant sample of 59 cases, One such case reported paranormal abilities newly present. And I've been working with a girl with severe autism impairment since 2013 who shows clear, to me, telepathy connection with her ABA therapist.
Mm.
Uh, Adult behavioral, I don't know what ABA stands for. Diane knows about that case. Don't know who Diane is. And I'm familiar with two other such cases in other countries. I am busy the next 2 days with filming for NHK Japan Television with Goma. No explanation to what Goma is.
It's an applied
Hiroki.
behavior analysis. So it's applied behavior
Okay.
analysis techniques to help individuals.
Right. So I'm assuming that this severe
Is
autistic
that what we
is
used to call cognitive
non-verbal.
behavior? I don't know whether it's something different from cognitive behavior or whether it's just now called
I don't,
ABA.
well, they change the terms all the time. It's confusing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming in this non-verbal autistic, it's just a case of that they're using telepathy to beam their intention to somebody or to indicate to them in a non-verbal way what they want to communicate
You know,
somehow.
like when your dog looks at you while you're while you're eating something.
Yeah, but like your dog's looking at you, but you've got your back turned to them, so you can't see them, but you know your dog's looking at you because you've
Yeah.
got like feeling, and it's like you turn
Well,
around, it's
that's
like,
well, we know that kind of exists because the SAS are trained not to look at the
yeah.
person's back when they go in for a kill, aren't they?
I mean, literally the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, but if you know you're being watched, it's a very strange phenomena. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to know how that works. I don't know. So anyway, he says he's going to work with Hiroki Marumoto, a rock star didgeridoo player in Japan. Oh right, and then he gives a link.
At
So
least it's not that
Goma is
insufferable and NASA shill. What's his name? Ichio Sama.
Michio Kaku. Yeah, I know the
That's the
one.
one.
Yeah,
Insufferable, that man,
yeah.
isn't he?
Well, it's like a lot of celeb scientists. They're just
Yeah.
very smug, aren't they?
Yeah.
Uh, I've got to watch out for that myself. I get very smug about certain things. Yeah, all right. So Goma is the name of the artist, and you can go to his website right now. It's gomaweb.com, but I suggest you don't.
Yeah.
Who has now acquired savant art abilities. Oh, all right.
Oh.
He will be visiting the Treffert Centre with Japanese film crew tomorrow and Friday. Let me review the clip you sent and get back to you sometime next week. I enjoyed
Is that the
participating
Treffert
in
Centre in association with Jeffrey Epstein?
the Treffert Centre, which is UC San Diego.
Yeah, in association with
Uh,
Jeffrey Epstein.
so we got a few more letters. I mean, this letter doesn't. Oh yeah, here's one from Jeffrey Epstein asking, "Is this if it's the correct address to send his money to Deepak Chopra?"
Yeah.
And that's it. So yeah, Jeffrey I didn't even realize when I first read it. I just like, oh, autism and telepathic abilities. That sounds interesting. But then, like everything these days, you find if it's not touched by Jeffrey Epstein, it's touched by Robert Maxwell. I mean, do you remember when what was it called, the Pergamon Press, when we did the
Oh,
episode on that and how
yeah. Everybody's favorite,
you know all,
everybody's second favorite Maxwell because his tits aren't as nice.
well, yeah, because imagine you got a daughter and you just out of spite you'd be like, your name will be known as Jizzstain. Oh, we'll just write that down as Jizzlane for you. Yeah, whatever, Jizzlane, Jizzstain. Oh, fucking daughter. She shicks her filth.
What's
And it's
worse?
like,
What's worse, Jizzstain or Nigella? Like, what's the worst surname?
You know, now, bearing in mind, I have to do a preface, right? What I'm about to say here may be politically incorrect. But back when I was doing medical science in college, in the halcyon days of 2010, there was this homosexual lad in the course, right? And he was one of at least two homosexuals in the class.
Yeah.
And he was talking amongst his peers about
Was he a queer?
what his He was a queer, yes. He
Yeah,
was a very catty queer as well.
yeah.
And he didn't like the other homosexual,
Oh,
who was a
was he the only
bitch.
guy? Was he the only guy in the college? Was he?
No, they were just both very feminine men, and they rubbed each other up the wrong
I'll
way.
have you
One was
know,
catty,
I'm
the
the
other.
only gay in this college.
So anyway, this homosexual, let's call him Joe,
Yeah,
Homo Joe,
yeah.
and he's not listening to this. But anyway, Homo Joe
Yeah.
was talking about tranny names, and I said to him, "Well, it's very simple. All you do is you take your name, Joe, and you add Ella to it. So your tranny name is Joella,
Yeah,
and my one would be Hobbitella,
yeah.
and Nigella is just." Imagine your dad's called Nigel. It's like, oh, what's your daughter going to be? Nigella. It's like,
It's just
oh, it's a
imagine
tranny.
being a girl and being basically Nigel Junior. That's basically what you are, aren't you, Nigel Junior?
Yeah.
Don't you find it women?
Um,
Don't you find it funny how women don't you don't get like like Mary Junior, like you. The dad can have a junior, but the wife can't. Have you ever you ever thought about that?
I wonder why there is not a matrilineal lineage. I mean,
Yeah,
they do it of royals, don't they? Like
yeah,
they'll say Queen Elizabeth one and two.
yeah. Is it like the
Um,
marriage thing? Is it? Because then she gets married, and then she's not John Smith Junior. Then, sorry, Mary Smith Junior. Then is she?
oh yeah, because you take on the spouse's surname.
Yeah. I wonder if that. It might be something as simple as that, but I don't know. It's just one of those things I thought about the other day.
Oh, funny enough, right? So I'm looking in the comments to this letter, and so
Mm.
the first one that comes up is says discuss my involvement with paranormal skills in autistic persons. So in other words, the GATE program. Now,
Aren't
have
they
we covered
persons
the
of
GATE program?
autism now?
People, persons of autism spectrum disorder. Have we discussed in this on the show before the GATE program?
Actually, yeah, I did. Gate Kids vindicated or something. I did see that comment. Yeah, we did. We did talk about the gates, but I don't think it was like in massive detail. Yeah, because we
Well,
talked
one of the
about
things
Gate. We talked about Gate, and we talked about. Did we talk? Didn't we pair it up with Common Purpose or something?
yeah. Well, the other thing about that was like now. Here's the thing, right? I now they were sort of saying describing all these tones and such, and they would be taken away to a special room where they'd be listening to
Are Gate
tones in the
children more like
heavenly.
Indigo children then, are they?
I think it's the gifted and talented education
Well,
they say, but
That's basically what
it,
Indigo children.
it's
Indigo children.
it's a
My
screening
India is so marvelous, isn't she?
it's a screening program for the psychic. So
Yeah.
now I've been reading about other gate program things in primarily it's America, but it did occur in the United Kingdom as well. And so look, I was never
I think at the time we
to
thought
my
it was a more political thing. So you're saying it goes deeper than just being like a political thing, then?
well, I'm saying it was to either control or suppress psychic ability, and the reason I say that is because now what they were saying is when they identify gate students, they would have them hold a fluoride tablet in their mouth for a number of minutes and then spit out to say, "Oh well, we're doing this as part of dentistry to make your teeth
Yeah.
better," which is bollocks. But more about that another time. Now, I was in a lot of trouble when I went to school. I've been expelled from a few schools, got into
109
numerous
schools, and every
fights,
single
been
one of them was the
suspended.
school's fault.
Well, except I know it was my fault because I was violent and I didn't like I never instigated a fight, by the way. But people would pick on me because I was a shit, and so I would fight them. And I think one fight was we had this new playing equipment, including monkey bars, and gladiators was on the show at the time. So do you remember that thing where the gladiators would wrestle the contender, and they'd be on the monkey bars, and well, there's
Yeah.
those hoops, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they try and grapple them with their legs to pull them
Yeah.
down. And I was waiting my turn to get on the bars, and I thought, oh, we're going to be in this. And so I climbed onto it, and I was just like, I'm just going to hold on here, and the next person that gets up. But the thing is, they were all pulling me down before I got on it. It's like, no, you can't go. And then so I started fighting them, and then eventually the entire classroom, so about 20 boys, all piled on top of me in order. And I remember I was like, I didn't lose that fight. It was just I was pinned down.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was um, I was suspended, and then when I was brought back, they had this child psychologist come to the to the school, and amongst various things, one of the teachers thought I was thick because my handwriting was bad, still is, and I refused to do any work in the class apart from maths, which I taught myself.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, I'm really thick, but at the same time, I'm a contender in the Junior National Mathematics Championship. So either I'm thick or I'm not thick. And well, that's the thing, you see. So,
I don't
some of
know.
the teachers thought very
Would you describe what's Dustin Hoffman's character in Rain Man as thick?
an idiot savant.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
too
what I mean.
too stupid to do certain things. But well, that's the thing. They didn't really understand Asperger's, but back then. So the behavioral psychologist was like, right, well, I'm going to do a formal IQ assessment on you, and that every time I say this, people say I'm bragging. I'll just tell you the number, 137. And he told me us, and he said, look, the threshold for genius is 140, and if you were better on the memory tests where you did poorly on, that would put you above 140 in IQ
Mm.
easily. And I was like, oh, right, okay. So what is that good? And he says, it's two standard deviations above the norm. I was like, I don't understand what these terms are. I don't know what these terms mean now,
Mm.
but yeah. So when my dad sort of looked, and he says, "Oh, that means you're exceptionally intelligent." I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, you could go to Mensa." I said, "No, I can't. My IQ's 100, 140." Turns out Mensa's lowered
It's about
their
120 in
bar
it,
since
Mensa.
then. But point being, after I had that assessment, and when they found out I wasn't thick, I was just stubborn. Oh, by the way, I was illiterate until I was 11, and then I suddenly just overnight was able to read because my dad was effectively he
Said your
he
computer
he
wrong.
was shouting at me, and I was well, I was upset. Yeah, there was some tears involved, but eventually he sat me down and says, "You're not leaving here until you read this page." And I was very adamant that I couldn't do it, and then suddenly I could, and it was very, very, very strange to go from not being able to read to suddenly being able to read. Um, but again, sort of that's why this like, well, look, you're 11 years old and you can't read. Well, obviously, I could read some things because I could write my own name, but I wasn't able to read like a page in a book. And but anyway, so that's why I had this assessment, and I'm saying all this stuff because I'm being reminded of it reading about this GATE program because um, they the the people that were in the GATE program were describing that after the program they were given this fluoride tablet and they were told to suck on it, not to swallow, and then after a few minutes to spit out in the sink. And I did that too. And well, look, just a quick rundown chemistry. Fluoride is horrifically poisonous. Yes, it makes your teeth more brittle, um, which some would say is a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's far better to remineralize your teeth using clay. I think it's called apatite, the clay, or nanohydroxyapatite. Very popular in Japan. There's many toothpastes that use it there. Now, I think what they were doing there is a form of brain damage because the fluoride would have been absorbed through the mucosa membranes where your spit forms, and it had been absorbed into the bloodstream. And a lot of woo-woo hippie types say, oh, the fluoride calcifies your pineal gland, and it's the third eye which allows for psychic phenomena and dreaming. And I don't think it did that, because I can still dream, and I got that telephone telepathy. But what would it have been like if I never took that tablet and if I never had fluoride toothpaste? Oh, you'd have lost all your teeth. Yeah, but I'd have been able to open doors with the power of my mind.
Cobra couldn't. Cobra never brushed his teeth, and he couldn't.
No, he couldn't. But one of the things I saw, no, it was on 4chan,
Cyrax
and
definitely
I saw.
can't. I don't think I don't think Cyrax can even open a door with his arm, with his little noodle arms.
But no, you see, you don't understand this. But Cyrex realizes that the power to true like kung fu mastery is to have your shoulders gone. So that's why he paid for a strong man to come and give him a bear hug until his shoulders were crushed, and that turned him into the ultimate ninja warrior.
I watched the classic Cyrax video the other day. It's the one where he was living with, I think she's called Heather One. There's this thing where Heather kisses him and then nearly throws up in her own mouth.
Oh God! Oh God! Ugh.
She goes like
Revolt.
speech.
I didn't need to know that, but I think it's safe to say with people like Cyrex and Cobra, you can understand that they're just thick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw a video of Cyrex shadow boxing the other day. I was like, my God, he's got no shoulders.
It's surely it's physically impossible to have no shoulders like that. Like the people in the death camps looked healthier than that, didn't they? And they were in death camps.
Oh, Ian's saying sign in and I'll send you my pics after I've had my eyes removed. Just sent you my pics on FB. Oh right, okay. I thought for some reason he was like, I just sent you a price on Facebook, and I was like, well, I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, they basically did the bit. They did the bit with Ian's eyes. You know, like when you're watching a snooker match and they just pick the ball up and give it a polish and then put it back down. They basically did that with Ian's eyes.
Oh, he's had eye surgery.
Yeah, a while ago. He showed me he sent me all the pictures on Twitter.
Oh well, I'm glad I didn't look at any of that then. I've had eye surgery. They had to pop an eye out, but that was to amputate one of the muscles. So you have to pop the eye out to cut, because otherwise you can't get to the muscle.
Yeah.
So the thing that I was subsequent reading about the GATE program, and then I sort of squirreled it away of interesting trivia, which I'll forget about, but now I've remembered.
Yeah, it sounds very much like the Indigo children, which are hugely insufferable, aren't they?
Well, you see, in addition to the now I can't remember all this stuff because it happened to me 30 years ago, and it was a big, long interview, and lots of stuff was talked about, and it was.
So are they literally doing like the Bart the Genius bit, were they?
Well, it was sort of to try and assess, like, okay, why do you keep getting in fights with people? Because I'm angry.
Because they're morons.
And I'm bored.
Because they're morons.
Yeah, so... well, yeah. So it's like, look, I act up it, and that was basically it. He said to, well, the funny thing is it wasn't the first time I saw a behavioural psychologist. When I was in nursery school, well, the sister there couldn't cope with me.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like, he said 99% of the time when he was there talking to the psychologist, he said, oh, did Sister Wendy send you? He said, yeah. He said, look, my son's misbehaving in class. What do I do? They ended up talking about depression and nomadic lifestyles, and how, like, we're depressed and we can't just up sticks when we need to because the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And so they ended up just talking about depression. And then at the end of it, he says, so what about my son? He says, well, look, I've been observing. He's just, he's bright, and Sister Wendy can't cope with that because,
Well, this is what some of the Well, this is what some of the MRI guys say now, don't they? They say what it is basically we're pathologising young boys as though they're younger. We want young girls to be young boys, whereas young boys, they don't learn
No,
very
other
well at
way
school
round.
because they want
Other
to be
way
running
round.
around the
Other way
classroom and
round.
stuff.
Education is catered to women.
Sorry, yeah.
It's women coded. Women, boys don't like sitting still for more than 10 minutes at a time. So it's
Yeah, that's
they
what
pathologise
I'm
boy
saying. They're kind
behaviour.
of
Yeah.
they're pathologizing young boys as if they're young girls, is what I mean.
Well, one of the comorbidities for autism spectrum is OCD and attention deficit, because it's hard to pay attention to something that's very boring. And I wouldn't say it's a disorder. It's just like, well, look, the teacher's not very good at this subject.
Well,
I'm
that's why
curious about
the
things, and
boys
she's
used to go
not.
out in the sports field and the girls used to do home ec, weren't it? Like the girls don't need to go and burn that energy off, do they?
Or you'd have the boys in woodworking class where they'd learn how
Yeah,
to do a dovetail joint, and it's like, well,
yeah,
look, this is something they're doing with their hands. They occupies their concentration,
yeah,
and that was it. So I think, right. So back to this thing I scrolled away of useful information. I'll forget. I've
yeah.
just remembered it now. The point of the GATE program is to ascertain which would be useful assets for a CIA spook program, and which would be anti-authoritarian and therefore a problem to the state.
Mm,
And the ones which they say are problematic, they give the fluoride tablets to lobotomize them.
yeah.
So I was lobotomized. Thanks, government. That's really nice. It's like, why are you lobotomized? Because you might be curious about things. You might say, I don't like the status quo, and we can't have that. We've got to keep our system of baby rape and cannibalism alive, and we can't have people rocking the boat now, because we're onto a good thing here, and we'd like to keep it going if that's all right. But yeah, and now I find this Jeffrey Epstein is funding research into psychic autistic
Well,
phenomena.
he was a big time transhumanist, wasn't he, Jeffrey
Well,
Epstein?
it's funny you mention that, because as I was scrolling down these comments, there's this guy here, and he was saying, "Oh, do you know about this thing where?" Here we go. So Mark Soares has posted it. I'll post it into the thingy. So this is Epstein saying, "I am back from Rome. I am Vienna now. We'll be back in Boston on Wednesday."
Oh, that's what I mentioned to you a couple of minutes ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I met Savanti Pabo from Leipzig. He sequences old bones, got a complete Neanderthal genome. You would like him.
Didn't Qui-Gon Jinn do a bet with Savanti Pabo so he could own Anakin Skywalker?
So he says, you would like him. He knows church. The two of them could build a Neanderthal person. Now,
so I assume Church is a surname of a scientist?
Yeah, probably, because I don't think it doesn't say the church. Now, is it Neanderthal or is it Neanderthal? Actually, you know what?
I don't know. I think, is that one of those geographical things?
I am going to go. I like this whenever I don't know how to pronounce a word. I go to Google Translate, and I am going to put it in. Actually,
yeah, but that's going to Yankeefy it, though, isn't it?
No, because if you use English as opposed to English simplified, English traditional,
it has to be simplified for Americans, does it?
Well, we got English traditional and English simplified, like we got Chinese traditional and Chinese simplified. Now, where's English? There's a language here called Komi. What the hell?
Dom's got a question for us. He said, "Is a bowl cut a Down syndrome's comorbidity?"
Yes, it is. Along with the mongoloid
it's
eyes.
the 3000th episode next week, according to Ian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be doing it that long, but apparently we have.
Wow. The thing about 14 words is it's timeless, and it feels like we've done 3,000 episodes. So in English, it's pronounced Neanderthal, and auf Deutsch, it's Neandertaler. So it's not even got the "thal" in it. It's Neandertaler. So yeah, Neanderthal. Right, there we go. I was saying it right, audio.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Neanderthal. Yeah.
Well, I've heard people pronounce it as Neanderthal, and it's but then I think
I don't know if that's
like,
one of that like British shortcut things where we just knock the H out of it and just Neanderthal. Neanderthal. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure you have
no,
always said
Neanderthal is
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal is how it's spelt in English, but
Yeah.
the Germans, because I think it was a cave in Germany, they call it Neandertaler. They don't have a th; it's
Yeah.
just Thaler, which is no, no, no.
How
I'm
do you
not that good
pronounce
on
like the
German.
Thule Society?
Um,
Thule,
I
isn't it?
I think it's Thule in German, but
Yeah.
we would say fool because
Yeah.
it's thule.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? If I put in fuel and yeah, it's just Tula,
Yeah, I thought it was yeah.
Tula,
The Thule
but
Society.
fuel in
Isn't it
English
weird that
because it's
Iceland's base is called Thule base?
well, what is the etymology of fool?
I don't know.
No,
It doesn't,
fool.
isn't
I
it
have to.
runic? I don't know. I don't really. I've never really paid a huge
All I
attention
know
to
is
Nazi
the.
mythology.
I'm going to use it I'm going to use it in the German because I find it easy to pronounce. Tula. The Tula Society was like apparently the esoteric society behind the formation of the National Socialists.
Yeah.
Also, look, I'm not a German expert. Can someone explain to me how National Socialist becomes Nazi? Because the only word I can
It's
think that could be
no. I don't think it's that. I think it's the acronym for the party. It's the NSDAP, isn't it?
yeah, but that's Nestap. That's
Yeah.
not Nazi, is
Yeah.
it?
Nuz. That nus can turn to a nuz, can't it?
Well, look, the only Nazi I can think of is the shortening of Ashkenazi.
Yeah. You don't get
So
Ashkenazi without Nazi, do you?
exactly, that's the only word which I think it can derive from. And I'm just like, well, aren't the National Socialists a bit opposed to the Ashkenazi?
Only slightly.
I think they had some political disagreements with the Ashkenazi.
I
No,
think
no,
they're just a little bit to the right of the Ashkenazi, just a little, just a smidge.
the collective term for Ashkenazi is Ashkenazim.
Yeah.
So, and if there was a philosophy of the Ashkenazi, would it be Ashkenazism?
Oh, might be. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So either way, I don't, I think National Socialist or Natsoc, as some people would say, that, but why we do Tule? Oh, Neanderthal. That's it. We
Neanderthal.
were talking
Yeah.
about Neanderthals,
Yeah.
and Jeffrey Epstein's interesting in
Making one.
bringing.
Maybe you've just seen. It's called California Man over here, but the Yanks know it as Encino Man. Maybe you just watched that. He was a big fan, huge fan of Paulie Shaw, and he was like, "Oh, let's make a Brendan Fraser."
Well, the other thing which people were interested at the time was, I'm thought, well, why haven't they done it yet?
The
Is
mammoth.
using
They've been
elephants.
banging on about the mammoth since forever, though.
Well,
Oh,
that's the
we're
thing.
close now. We've got a mammoth testicles and everything. Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna make
Look,
one any minute now. Oh, we can even put
look,
one in an
you
elephant
don't
if we
you
wanted to.
don't need you don't need the gametes to make them. You just use a surrogate elephant as
Yeah,
the
but it'd be
mother,
nice though, wouldn't it, to have like a proper one? Not
and
like the
you
dire
just
wolves where they
use
just change a few
no,
genes.
you just use no. All you do is you use the elephant as the surrogate,
Yeah,
and you have the mammoth. You sample its genome from plenty of soft tissue which is around.
yeah,
And the funny thing is, I remember even one of the researchers saying, like, well, look, we got such an abundance of mammoth meat. I got curious one day, so I took it in I think it's called a micro. Oh, I can't remember it. There's this machine used in biology when you're preparing a thin slide of tissue,
yeah,
and it's like a scalpel on a disc, and you turn it,
yeah,
and it's called like a micro something or other. It's like that finger slicer that people use in kitchens, and it's called
yeah.
a micro version of that. Do you know a micro
Mandolin.
mandolin?
Yeah,
Yeah, a
it's
micro
called a mandolin,
mandolin.
isn't
So,
it? Which is like a musical instrument.
well, yeah, well, maybe it's because the mandolin chopper resembles a mandolin instrument. But anyway, the guy says, "Look, we got so many of these samples that I took of the tissue and so it's pretty tough, but yeah, it was
Your internet's going a
like
bit
me.
weird.
It
Oh, you're
was
going to be back now.
40-year-old jerky.
Hobbit, your internet's going a bit weird.
So, someone in the comments saying,
is it you or me? Hold on a sec.
James,
so if I
remember a bit of bone from Jamestown settlers.
Oh god, where is it? Join. Right, I'm having some internet issues. I'll just have to bullshit with you people for a sec. Fucking internet. Can everyone hear me okay? Right, it says I'm connected.
Reversion genome.
I'm back. My internet shit the bed for a sec there.
Oh, Hobbit's gone all Dalek. You've gone all Dalek as well. So I assume people didn't hear what I said. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Just the fact is, Epstein,
it was pretty much most of the mammoth stuff.
You came. You're all in bits.
Right. Has it settled down yet? Hello.
Well, I'll wait for you to come back, Harry, before
Hold on, I'll leave
happens,
and
because
leave.
it's all.
I'll shut down. Right, let's. How do you exit this? Right. I'll just keep talking for a second. Quick telegram, and then I shall start that again. Am I still roboting everybody? Right. So. Right, is that any better?
With technical
is that better?
Difficulties.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Technical. Oh, welcome back. I wrote in the chat. Bear with technical difficulties.
Yeah, I was keeping people updated. Yeah, so basically, like most of your mammoth speech disappeared a bit after testicles, probably.
Oh, right. Okay. So in conclusion, there's a machine to take small slices of tissue for microscopy. I think it's called a micromandolin. I can't remember. But the guy in Siberia says, well, we got so many samples of the tissue, I sliced one off. And after we did the microscope work with it, I ate it. And it was pretty tough and chewy, but it was all right. So he was eating a 40,000-year-old piece of mammoth jerky.
Oh yeah. God! Don't start talking about jerky. Have you seen the Epstein jerky stuff?
Yes, they use code words to refer to cannibalism and abuse of children, and they use common foodstuffs with it. It's just look. I heard this legal term, and I don't really understand because legalese is not English, it's its own language. But I will try and paraphrase as best as I can what I heard from this. In a court case, when heinous acts are being described to a jury, the prosecution has to lay them out in a careful structure, and they say they don't do that to help the defendant. They're doing it to help the jury, because if they were to dump all the information in one go, it would trigger the reptile brain. And I believe the term is called reptile theory, and it's disallowed in the court because if you do it, you can short circuit a jury's decision-making ability to do judgment, and you make them go into fight or flight thing. And it's very easy to manipulate them. So you present the information to them in a carefully controlled manner so that they understand that the nature of the crime, but in a way which doesn't make them overly emotional, so that they can be clear-headed when making judgments. And the reason I'm remembering this is because someone said, well, look, the way they're releasing this evidence all in one go is, if this was a court thing, it would be thrown out because it will um, it will make the jury, which is anybody that's reading this stuff,
And
go
also,
into
they've put a
reptile
lot.
brain mode.
Apparently, they've put a lot of crap. Have you heard about the duplicated documents as well? So there's
Uh-huh.
duplicated documents. Not only have they duplicated the
Chaff,
documents, the
noise.
redactions are different in them. So in some of them, the victim's name's in there. Some of them it isn't. Um, and also
Yeah,
we
so
need to remember within these there is
it's chaff.
information. There's
You know what
misinformation
chaff
and there's
is?
disinformation.
So chaff
Yeah,
is something aircraft use to counter radar signatures, which is they put a bunch of uh, radio reflective chaff into the air, and it makes it harder to see the signal from the aircraft. So
yeah,
what by the disinformation, it's digital chaff really.
yeah.
But I thought it was very interesting them saying that look, if this was a court case and you're releasing evidence and you just dump it all on the jury in one go,
Yeah.
it will shut their minds down. Now, I'm not neurotypical, I am Asperger's, and I'm just thinking, well, you're overthinking this. Why don't you just do a Fed post in real life? But you've got a jury of your peers,
Yeah.
and therefore it's legal. You go, well, look, the evidence you present to me is overwhelming. I'm not overthinking this. You're going to get executed. Maybe you're innocent, probably not. We'll let God sort it out. If you are innocent, then you'll be welcome in God's arms. If you're not innocent,
Yeah.
well then you'll face your final judgment, won't you? And I think it's just a case of the people involved in it. So look, you don't have to overthink this. And
If you think about it, you look at the massive information. You look at how it paralysed the state. I mean, between those YouTubers getting the documents, when was that? Last summer. There
mm,
have been numerous conversations I assume backstage have been, how the fuck do we deal with this? I mean, can you imagine how many conversations at a high level have been just, how the fuck do we deal with this?
well, put it this way. Now, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers, so
Mm.
you can't have me in the jury because I'm not a peer of any of these politicians or elite
I
people.
don't think
But
anybody human
let's
is, are
just,
they?
well, yeah, that's the other problem with juries.
Yeah.
Let's just say, for example, the juries was composed of autistic men. It would be, let's also say, autistic men that believe. And it'd be like, well, this is very simple. We can't judge you. And let's say there was like a glimmer of doubt, like a person's innocent, just like, well, you know what? Firing squad, it's painless execution. It'll be over very quickly. If we're wrong, pray for us because we condemned an innocent man to death. But if we're right, then, well, we've sent you to God because He's the only one that can judge you. We're incapable of judging you for such heinous crimes. And it really should just be a case of that. And it's like, that was like, I think the understanding of capital punishment in times gone by, it was a case of like, some crimes are so heinous, like cannibalism of babies and small children, that no man can judge a person that's committed such an act. You have to send them to God. God's the only person that can judge someone like that.
And also you have the thing of I don't know, thoughts got. I had a thought there, but it's gone. Um, um, it's just kind of like,
Well,
yeah, this is what I was going to say. You got the thing now where the governments, they're just not afraid of their populace at all, so they just hang all this stuff out there because they know or they believe that nothing's going to be done about it, don't they?
well, I believe somebody said, like, in regards to the Super Bowl, that next year they could just have Jeffrey Epstein going onto the playing field because he's not dead,
Yeah.
rape a child, set it on fire, and then eat it and, do a barbecue roast. And people grumble, say, oh, I didn't like the halftime show. I thought Jeffrey Epstein was dead.
Yeah,
But then
and
they'll
then the
carry on
left,
watching it.
and then the left. As someone said the other day, which I thought was quite clever, they said the left don't have positions; they just have oppositions. So the right will go, "That was disgusting. That really shouldn't have happened," and then the left will go, "What do you mean? That was a perfect. That was a very very artistic and well thought out halftime show, weren't they?"
Spirit cooking.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and it's like they're so utterly brazen with what they do now, and I'm reminded of Yuri Bezmenov, who now they say he was a KGB defector, and he talked about learned helplessness in the Soviet Union, and he said it causes apathy amongst the people because they learn that they're helpless regardless of what,
Yeah.
and apathetic people they won't rebel because they've just learned not to, and I think we're at the learned helplessness stage of society where all this heinous stuff is going on. And I didn't even want this show to go in this way, really, because when I read this, I thought, oh, this would be a nice thing to distract from current events. And it's like, no, it's not, because Jeffrey Epstein's fucking funding the research. And
Yeah.
it's just like, it, you know how there's like certain people where they go, like, if they slip on the banana peel, they'd be like, oh, the Jews did this.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, come on, mate, I think you're jumping, you're clutching at straws there.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, this will be a light-hearted Fortean show where we talk about the paranormal amongst autistics, and it's like, no, is Jeffrey Epstein like funding research into weaponizing telepathy and also recreating Neanderthals? I'm just thinking we're halfway in the show now, and we haven't gone on to the other two. I only thought this was going to take us 20 minutes. I literally looked at it and just thought, yeah, that's about 20 minutes of content.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the thing, is that
what is it?
We pick a subject and we discuss it, don't we? And that's what I like about this show. But like,
well, yeah, I mean that's
rigid.
the thing. I like how when I look at something like this, and it looks to me like, oh, well, this could be explained in about 10 minutes, and it's like 50 minutes later, it's just. Shall we do the other tweet? Because. God, imagine turning a single fucking tweet into an hour's of content. I mean, that's value for money.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, Hobbit, we haven't done the bit, have we? We haven't. It's a small thing for you, but it's a big thing for us.
Oh, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Ding,
please,
ding.
like and subscribe.
Ding,
buy my
click.
merch. Please buy my merch. Do we have any merch?
I mean, do you think we ought to have some merch? Shark Science. Shark Science. What else would be the?
Oh, you know what we could do?
Merch?
Shall I get in contact with like some slave labor in China and just say, hey, look, can you make me some like cuddly toys of a shark wearing a professor's mortar?
We could no lab coat.
The official...
it'd be a shark wearing a lab coat.
Oh yeah. Oh, maybe we could just have like a line of shark figurines.
All in different outfits.
We got to have like the action figure of Sir Joseph Paxton.
Yeah.
And Barry Scott.
You could have a shark Sir holding Joseph a Paxton. Napkin with the architect design for Crystal Palace on it.
Oh mate, that is. Do we know anybody that does figurines or miniatures or anything like that?
No, you have to go to China. They're about the only place that make them.
This could be some quite tasteful, tasteful merchandise here. Interdimensional Lizard says, "I want a talking Mariana Spring doll with a string on the back."
What's happened to Mariana Spring? She's like, everybody's disappeared because we've got a Labour government. They're like, oh, yay, Labour are in, we're winning, lads. And then they're gone, oh shit, Labour are in. Oh fuck.
Actually, you know what? If I go on BBC Verify, let's see if they've done anything in the past.
She does go missing a lot. Have you noticed? Mariana Spring does have a tendency to disappear a lot.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. So 10th of February 2026, that's 2 days ago. Wrong date on draft Epstein death statement, a typo. US officials tell BBC Verify. Oh, you know what they should do on BBC Verify? Do you remember that time? I forget the name of the journalist when she was reporting
Jerry Nadler
on the demolition.
They definitely need to verify that.
They need to verify that. Did Jeffrey Epstein? Not Jeffrey Epstein. Did
Jeffrey
Epstein
shit in Jerry Nadler's pants? Is that?
Did Jeffrey Epstein use autistic telepathy powers to shit Gerald Nadler's pants?
Jerry Nadler knows if you poop in your dreams, you poop for real.
BBC Verify has become the official #1 Jeffrey Epstein fan page. It's just wall to wall. Jeffrey Epstein didn't do this. Jeffrey Epstein didn't rape babies. Jeffrey Epstein didn't eat them and describe the
Beef
taste of
jerky is
human
just a
flesh as
meat
cream
product.
cheese.
What are you talking about?
Top 10 recipes for making your own BBC
Yeah.
BBC good food beef jerky.
Yeah. How to freeze beef jerky.
Yeah. Cream cheese and what bagels it goes best on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would we be right in saying that BBC Verify are in the can for Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like. Look, if I didn't know what BBC Verify was, I think I thought I'd have just stumbled on the Jeffrey Epstein fan page. I mean, look, they're not as fanboyish about him as Nicholas the Spick Fuentes with his official Jeffrey Epstein Mossad sweatshirt, which you can buy at the Nicholas the Spick Fuentes merch store. Have you seen that? He's going around wearing.
Yes, that is a bit weird.
I just
can't. Can you believe Stewie Babe 30 has said, I mean, how much bullshit is BBC Verify able to shovel? Oh, you fucker.
Yeah. All right, so here's the next psychological woo-woo Fortean thing we got.
Yeah.
Hopefully this has got nothing to do with Jeffrey fucking Epstein. A parapsychology experiment at Princeton University found that participants could mentally affect where small balls would fall out of a series of bins. The psychokinetic effects created a new meme which had 1 in 10,000 odds of arising by chance. So let's read the art. Oh, so it's called The Edge of Orthodoxy.
Oh no,
well, this is from 1988.
I've just seen a cartoon on Twitter, and it's some facts are verified, but some facts are more verified than others.
Oh, the Animal Farm bit, some animals more equal than others. All animals are equal. So this is from a book. Yes, people used to publish things in books, and then they couldn't be edited afterwards, unlike Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So the book's called The Edge of Orthodoxy. A person called the operator sits on the sofa and watches while the balls cascade into the bins. The operator follows one of 3 protocols.
Is Mariana Spring exclusively on... has she left for Blue Sky?
Or is she not on Twitter anymore?
I can't find her Twitter unless I've spelt it wrong. Is it 2 N's? Because I only put 1 N in. Let's try 2 N's. Yeah, no, she's MIA. Oh, I found her.
Okay.
Let's see what her latest post is. Her latest post is January the 6th. The worst time for this day or any other day in democracy. January the 6th, 2025, a year of social media investigations and analysis for retweeted, reposted.
So when's Mariana Spring going to... Oh, okay. So she's got a sinecure then. Nice sort of like, look, Mariana, right? What we need you to do is write 1 or 2 articles a year. We'll jet you, all expenses paid to various places so that rich Arabs can do a shit on your chest, the Dubai chocolate.
Yeah.
And we'll pay you 90 grand a year for your sinecure.
Yeah.
All you got to do is 2 articles a year. I'm expecting one of the articles to be the burden of my workload of writing 2 articles a fucking year.
Mariana Springs says lots more from me in 2026, including new podcasts, docs, and projects. Well, that lot doesn't really we're 2.5 months into the year now, and you've done fuck all, Mariana. So how about you pull your fucking finger out and say something?
I would love a job like hers.
Yeah,
just it's like I assume she's getting paid 90 grand a year. She might be more, might be
20
less,
grand a year. Be a fucking knobhead.
20 grand a year to talk bollocks. I'd do it for free. Right, so a person called the operator sits on the sofa and watches while the balls cascade into the bins. The operator follows one of 3 protocols. He wills the balls to move to the right with intention. He wills them to move to the left, leftward intention, or he wills them to generate a baseline behaving in a normal, random fashion. In each run, the number of balls falling into each bin is counted by an optoelectronic counter and tabulated by a computer. When the results of many trials are analysed, it is found that so I'll go to the next one. The operators seem to be able to exert a small but significant effect on the behaviour of the balls. In a symmetric machine, the mean bin number should be 10 at at the centre of the 19 bins. In reality, the machine is not perfectly symmetric, and this mean is slightly larger than 10. It turns out that for 1,131 runs with rightward intention, the mean was 10.023. For the same number of runs with leftward intention, it was 10.017. So what they're saying, slightly more balls go to one side than the other. If we imagine shifting the mean by moving a ball to the right by one bin, then the difference in means requires about 51 moves on average, a small number if you consider that there are 9,000 balls to move. Small though this number is, it is highly unlikely to arise by chance. Small fluctuations in the mean should average out to zero over a large number of runs. If the fluctuations persist in the same direction as many runs accumulate, then the probability of this happening by chance becomes smaller and smaller. Analysis shows that there is about one chance in 10,000 for the small shift in the mean that was seen in 1,131 runs. We can also suppose that an event with the odds of 1 in 10,000 could happen purely by chance, but in statistical studies, such small probabilities are generally taken as evidence that some causal factor is operating. In this case, the only known difference between the two sets of runs lies in the inner intentions of the operators. Could the shift in means be caused by human will? Could the shift somehow cause the human choice of intention? Or could both be caused by some unknown third factor? This is a very controversial topic. In the 1930s, J.B. Rhine studied efforts to mentally influence falling dice, and this set a precedent for the use of random processes in attempts to measure PK. That's psychic kinesis.
Yeah, PK energy was what they measured in Ghostbusters.
Oh, right. Yeah, I always wondered about that because I'm familiar with the term
psychokinetic energy?
telekinesis.
It's psychokinetic energy, isn't it, PK?
Yeah, that's right. So that's where they get the term PK from.
Yeah.
Later on, Helmut Schmidt used random event generators based on radioactive decay, which is thought to exhibit pure quantum mechanical randomness. In addition to the work at the Pear Lab, random REGs, which I assume means random entropy generator, random entropy generators based on random microelectronic noise have been used in PK experiments by many investigators. You know, I will say this, right? Have you ever looked into the mental world of modular synthesizers?
No.
Because I have. And by the way,
the mental pricing mental pricing is quite something interesting.
Yes. Well, the thing with modular synths is you can build your own if you're willing to. There's a Japanese man I follow on Twitter who writes about his projects and the parts listing. Now, it doesn't take into fact his labor costs, but I mean, he makes all the bits you'd want for a modular synth, and he's doing some quite advanced filters now. But of some of the more interesting modular components I've seen in a synthesizer, one has got a spring doorstop, and it's got a piezo microphone on it, and it literally is called the twanger. So you can use it to make a twang sound effect in your music, or you can use the microphone to like vary other things. Like
if you're theremin, do you use a theremin with a modular synth? Then do you?
Yeah. Although there's a modern theremin which is much more reliable, and it's just based on optocouplers, and it's based on how you move your hand around. And Yeah, you could. No, the thing is, right? Your modular simps are, I mean, obviously they're all controlled with knobs and dials, and they're automated with when you make various patches, and that's why I'm saying the twanger can be used to control other bits in your synth. But the most interesting bonkers thing I saw, and I was just like, yeah, that'll work, is it was a random noise generator, and the random noise generator was a Geiger counter and a small amount of americium from a smoke detector. So when this americium was giving off radiation, the Geiger counter would pick it up, and there's your random noise generator.
Uh,
And it's like it's like, because a lot of people complaining with very sort of random noise generators, like how do you do it? And if you want a random noise generator, by the way, there's various websites which will give you completely random numbers, and I think one of them's based on like chickens in a field, and someone's saying, well, chickens don't actually, they're not random, they're chaotic, and bees aren't random, they're also chaotic. My dad says that if the way isn't
what's the difference
to
between random and chaotic then?
so chaotic is something that looks random, but it's got really complicated that is hard to understand. Um, but there are random number generators which like nuclear decay stuff, or one's even like it's like its random number generator is based on cosmic ray going into the receiver. The interesting about the
Can we
noise,
should we switch over to the Discord because this is playing up again? Yeah, I'm going to try the Discord, see if that works any better because something weird's going on tonight. Hopefully Hobbit reads that message. Yeah, that's not going to sign back in. And he's not reading that neither. He is a gimp, isn't he? Yeah, I'll just have to wait until Hobbit sees it. Hobbit, read the fucking chat. Hobbit. Hold on. Hold on, I've got to try and get hold of Hobbit. Give me a sec, people. Right, let's do that. I'm in Discord. Yeah, hopefully he'll see that. Give him a sec. He'll be back. There he is.
Yeah, me.
That's better. It must be. It's Telegram fucking up for some reason.
Oh, who knows how these things work? So,
No.
sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, no, look, no. Funny thing is, I thought in this article, right, it'd be like, well, this is a nice, Fortean subject about influencing random numbers. So
Yeah.
I'll read the comments. Yes, the streamer effect. It's like when they measured the random number generator in Hearthstone. Do you know what Hearthstone is?
No, what's
It's
that?
a game of some sort.
Yeah.
And they found out it wasn't random. Well, maybe someone in the chat will say what the Hearthstone game is. But anyway, there's a random number generator.
I don't trust. You do like that you get like internet one-arm bandits, internet bingo, and all of this stuff that's supposed to be random. I just don't trust it. I think because it's not actually wheel. I mean, even the wheel spinning, even the actual like physical wheel spinning, you shouldn't trust. But I trust those more than I do a computer. Because surely a computer, when it comes up with a random number, it's probably not going to come up with 1 or 99, is it?
Like, I haven't seen the National Lottery in years, and I mean, I do play it. But I assume it's still physical balls being tossed around by the spinning arm thing.
I suppose I'd like to think so. Can you still see that? I don't know. Let's have a look on. It must be on YouTube, mustn't they?
National Lottery Online
or
something. Maybe they host it on their own website. Not
I would
everything
have thought
has
they
to be
probably
on
got
YouTube.
National Lottery Live. Let's have a look.
Hmm.
National Lottery has its own
But-
YouTube channel.
Oh, right. So you can watch the live stream of it then.
Let's have a look. Live. Yes, yeah, lives. Yeah. Straight. Oh, you missed Thursday. Oh, the National Lottery set for live draw. Thunderbolt draw. Oh, they do all that Thunderbolt and all that bollocks now, don't they? It's not like just a regular draw anymore, is it?
Yeah, I mean, the set for life sounds quite nice, and if you're bad with money, it's a good idea. It's like they'll give you 10 grand every month for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's pretty decent. But personally, I like the idea of just winning the jackpot and then spending it all on drugs, DoorDash burgers, and prostitutes,
and
not buying a
cars.
house.
And do you remember Mikey Carroll? Do you remember Mikey Carroll?
Oh, I would buy so many Rolls Royces and second-hand Jaguars with that, and none of them would work. It'd be brilliant.
Move into a really posh neighbourhood, and
I would literally just have a scrapyard filled with really nice second-hand cars, and none of them go anywhere. It'd be and then I'd have like some banged-up Scover Octavia, which is actually dead reliable, and that's the car I use so I can go and get these other cars.
Yeah, you'd have a Jaguar E-Type that's constantly on axle stands on your drive.
I would actually have a Jaguar XJ113. That's a beautiful car. I mean, the E-Type is beautiful, but the XJ113, it's like, this car's from...
The bonnet on the E-Type is just unnecessary. You know, you get to the engine on that one, don't you?
Well,
you have to like tilt it forward and then unscrew it and have two big burly men move it out of the way. It's like a fucking nightmare job.
The thing is... Okay, so just briefly, I like old cars because it was understood back then that you would service the car yourself, and therefore the engine bay was nice and big so that you could move around.
Yeah.
Whereas a modern engine bay, I've seen more room in my watch than that. Fuck me.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't even get a gnat's ass in some of them, and then they put these plastic shrouds and everything, and they make it non-user. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, right? But modern BMWs don't have a sump plug, so what you're supposed to do now. I've got one of these. It's a cheap little thing you can get on Alibaba or eBay. It's an oil sucker, and you put it in the dipstick hole. And you use it to suck the oil out of your engine, so you can like put some new. Like if I'm doing a mini service, I'll do that. But if I'm doing a proper service, I'll drive the car up onto a curb. If I can't be bothered to do
what a lad I used to work with used to do, we'd pull up in a lay-by and just dump it all out in the lay-by.
Well, yeah, you can, you know. It is known that drains for stormwater, you can just let your oil drain into those, and nothing untoward will happen if you do that. But the alternative
to be fair, try finding one that ain't fucking blocked to fuck anyway.
Well, no. The reason we have flooding is because of climate change, not blocked drains.
It's climate change. It's not.
That's a right-wing conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if I'm doing like a proper service, I'll get the car onto a curb, because it's easier than jacking it up and stuff, and plus the curb, is good and reliable. I always get worried that when I'm under an axle stand, it's like, am I going to die horribly now? But if I got it on the curb, I just think, well, yeah, that's solid. I know it's not going to break because my car's on it, and I've seen other cars on it, and I've seen lorries on it. So I'm much more trusting of curbs than I am of jack stands. Now, I'll do that, and I'll get to the sump plug, and I'll pour the oil into a container, which I then take to the dump, because I'm not a jippo. Now, with the modern BMWs, they don't have a sump plug. So what you're supposed to do is, after 50,000 miles, you throw the fucking engine away, because it doesn't bloody work anymore, because you can't suck all the oil out.
No, I suppose the engine's probably not designed to last that long if it's a modern engine.
Well, no. It probably has a wet belt in it as well, knowing
Yeah.
BMW. So yeah, good luck with that timing belt lasting 50,000 miles. But
Yeah.
I
Also
think
with the
it
wet belts, did you know you have to use the precise, correct type of oil, otherwise the
yes,
belt disintegrates.
and you want to change it like much less than what the manufacturer recommends. So probably every 3,000 miles instead of every 10,000. Because otherwise your belt's going to start fraying and then your entire engine's fucked. I
Yeah.
suppose what you could do with the BMW one is you could take it to a garage, have them. Now, the sump is made out of plastic, unbolt the sump, drain all the oil from that, clean the sump out, and then put it back on and do the oil again,
Yeah.
and make sure that the sump is sealed. But at which point I'll just say, like, well, look,
Can you
guys,
imagine what you're going to be you're going to be paying out in labour for doing that?
well, it's not a fun job, is it? I'll be like, look,
Yeah.
whilst you're down there and you're replacing the sump pan, could you get like an aftermarket one that's made out of metal and it's got a sump plug in it? Oh no, you can't do that. It will invalidate your warranty. Why is
Yeah.
that then? Because you'll be able to service your engine. Oh, okay. So anyway, we were talking about things I'd do if I won the lottery. I would have a bunch of second-hand cars within various states of disrepair. But somebody else in the comments, so going on the comments, I thought, nice Fortean subject. I can guide flies out the window by willing it. He he. Also, practicing psychokinesis with dice is really fun. And then the third comment down, it says, it will sure reduce the odds in predicting the Powerball lottery, like the one that Epstein won twice.
He's a
Because
lucky fella, isn't he?
yeah, he's ever so lucky.
To
I
be
mean,
fair, he
his
gets
good
Larry
friend.
Silverstein to buy him the tickets, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, he's a very lucky man. But he's just such a blessed man. Like, he went to his good friend Lex Friedman and said to him, "Hey, can I have a house?" And Lex Friedman says, "Well, would you like this condo in New York that costs $4.7 million?" And he said, "Yeah, that'll do
No, that's
as a
Les
leg
Wexner.
up." Les Wexner, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Lex Friedman then?
Another
Oh, never
another
mind.
person that maybe.
May or not be associated with
Yeah.
Epstein. So yeah, there was another article which just like Epstein's come up again. Is it going to be like that episode of South Park where Simpsons already did it? It's just be a case of
Epstein already
you,
did it.
you,
Right, let's.
is it just going to be
Do you want me to do one
14 words?
article tonight that's not going to lead back to Jeffrey Epstein? Well, at least I hope it's not
I was
going
just
to.
about to say 14 words brought to you by Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Sensing what others cannot. Anomalous experiences and autism. Some autistics can tap into extraordinary sensory abilities, which is ES. Why is not ESP? Oh God, is it ESA now? But
No, don't listen to them. This is like you apps. It's bullshit.
scientific stigma and the fear of being over pathologized may be silencing them. In 1954, Theodore Geisel, under the pen name of Dr. Seuss, released Horton Hears a Who, a story about an elephant, Horton, who sees and hears things others in the jungle can't or refuse to experience. Horton starts communicating with tiny people who live on a speck of dust, the Who's, but when he presents this information to others in his community, they laugh at him and call him a lunatic. Feeling misunderstood, Horton sings Alone in the Universe alongside one of the smallest Who's in Whoville, Jojo. Why are we talking about a children's story? Why am I breaking the fourth wall when I'm writing an article? Who knows? Who cares? But I think I might have one
Who
answer.
will ever read this article out loud and realise there are errors in the grammar?
Well, for one, my daughter is Jojo, figuratively and literally. It's literally's got two T's, hasn't it? Oh, maybe.
It's been a long time. Let me just. Are these words?
Yeah.
I have to write them down to spell. No, it's got one T in it.
Oh, okay, then I'll let her off. She's playing
Yeah.
Jojo in her school play, Seussical Kids. But beyond that, Seussical, that's awful. That's a pun on musical, Hobbit.
No, disagree.
That's awful. That is awful. But beyond that, Dina is similar to Jojo. She's the smallest girl in her class, and her mind tends to trail off into the deepest notes of her imagination. Dina also shares that short-lived sense of wonder that all children have, that openness and curiosity that allows her to observe untaintedly. Sitting in the third row of are we just going to talk about her daughter, or are we going to talk about Auties with superpowers? Sitting in the third row of the school's auditorium for what? It's like, oh, we need you to write an
Was it a
article.
dark
Yeah,
and
but all I've
stormy
done is
night
been
in
to my
this in
daughter's.
school?
We need you to write an article, but what have you? But I've only been to the school play this week. Oh, we'll just write about that then. We
Hey,
don't
look,
care.
I've got an article to write out. Pad it out with some bullshit about dark and stormy nights at school auditoriums, would you?
Yeah, and blah 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 blah. And then she started reading the words to Alone in the Universe. There's that. Right, here we go. Recently, PT contributor. I don't know what PT is. Psychology Today, which is where this is from. PT contributor. This is halfway down the article, by the way. They start talking about it. PT contributor Dr. Jeff Tarrant wrote, not Chris Tarrant because he's dead now. Chris Tarrant's dead now, isn't he?
I don't know. Jeremy Beadle is.
Dr. Jeff Tarrant wrote about his experiences on the set of the Telepathy Tapes podcast. Tarrant was on the research team collecting EEG data from non-speaking autistic individuals. Autistic individuals, Hobbit, who appeared. They weren't the Borg. They were individuals who appeared to demonstrate the ability to communicate telepathically. If you have not listened to the Telepathy Tapes podcast before, please take some time to listen to it before deciding this blog post or anything it touches is pure lunacy, as Horton was misjudged. An excuse to call back. Beyond Tarrant's explanation is that he believes, based on what he observed, that it would be beneficial for more formal research to be conducted on telepathic abilities in autistic individuals. Researchers have already displayed a close link between autistic traits and anomalous or unusual sensory experiences. Sidebar to this, what's that film with Tom Cruise where the bird can see the future? Future crimes
Minority
thing.
Report?
That's it. She was like autistic, wasn't she, or something?
That was a Philip K. Dick story. I've never seen it.
Oh, haven't you seen it? Oh, okay then. I think she was like autistic or something, and she could see the future.
I know there's a bit where they put 3 of them in the cum tank.
Yeah, that it's when he takes he kidnaps one of the women from the cum tank, and I think she's autistic. One better accepted unusual sensory experience commonly associated with autism is synesthesia, wherein sensory input is mixed. Examples of such experience. Examples of such experiences include seeing a colour or a letter when one hears a sound. Synesthesia is not typically associated with distress or dysfunction, and people who experience it often enjoy having it or benefit. That'd be weird, hearing something and seeing a colour.
Oh, synesthesia. Shakespeare was a classic example of that because he coined the term bitterly cold, and it was a novel concept to describe a cold that you could taste as bitter. So that's an example of synesthesia.
Oh, okay, I never knew that. That's interesting. In his theoretical article on autism, hallucination and synesthesia, Gennaro in 2021 argues that synesthetes, are they like athletes, but they do synesthesia? Synesthetes experience an enhanced form of conscious experience because they can tap into something that is above and beyond typical sensory input. So these should have been, instead of auties, it should have been synesthesia people that the predators should have been going after. And then they could smell people in
Yeah. That film was, I'll put it this way. Writers can only write about what they know, and they can't write someone smarter than themselves because they just have no concept of what that would be.
Yeah.
And I think the writers thought they were being very smart because they're like, oh, well, autistic people are basically geniuses, right? It's like, no, unfortunately. Look, here's an example, right? Some autistic people are called Hobbit. some autistic people are called King Cobra JFS. It's a wide
Some
spectrum.
autistic people are Gowie.
Is he?
I don't know. There's something wrong with him, isn't there?
Wow, he's just a special little fella. He's
What a name,
Spurg.
He just likes his Pringles.
Pringo.
He likes his Pringles. So there is a growing body. So there's a growing body of research showing significantly more self-reported accounts of anomalous experiences in autistic versus non-autistic individuals. But they're dealing with non-verbals. So how are they getting this across? In a Swedish study of 17...
I wish they'd give examples. Like, for example, with the saying the severely autistic child that communicates telepathically with her therapist. And it's like, what? It's like, oh, hello. Let's say the child is called Amy. Hello, Amy. Yes, thank you for the image of mac and cheese. Do you want some mac and cheese? And then she starts drawing and goes, that means yes.
And then I like geezer from
and then just put,
Family Guy.
But then just puts like, you know, a visual, well, not a visual image, but the feeling of satiation having eaten mac and cheese. Like, oh, okay, I'll make you mac and cheese. It's like, that's a happy moan, isn't it? Imagine, like, you know, like someone's so autistic that's the only way they can communicate, but then like one of them's really interested in engines and one's like showing you like an exploded diagram of a straight six engine from the Jaguar E-Type, and it's being animated, and be like, or they even say, like, you know, highlight like one of the valves.
What if an autistic person does that, but they do it to a person who can't rotate an apple in their mind? Would that just make their skull explode like the start of Scanners?
And it'd be like, yeah, they just get a massive headache when, like, someone's trying to explain to the other, like, look, one of the valves is stuck in this engine, that's why it's misfiring, and they try to beam the animated image of what's going on in it, but then they just, like, start blood gushing from their nose, and they have an aneurysm.
Fun fact about Scanners is that David Cronenberg spunked the budget on that scene of that bloke's head exploding at the start.
Well, to be fair though, that was a pretty good special effect, and I just kind of like, you know, the whole sort of like, imagine staring at somebody so much that they go, oh, I can't stand. You know what? Like, I think David Cronenberg's a really good filmmaker, but also I can't stand David Cronenberg films. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Have you seen A Nightbreed? He plays the serial killer in Night. Oh, spoilers! He plays the serial killer in Nightbreed, and he is so fucking creepy. I can see why he makes horror films, because he is really fucking creepy.
You're telling me he's a fucking wronger? I'd have never guessed that, having watched that film. There was a recent film he did, like in 2020 or something.
Yeah.
I think it was called Sins of the Fathers, and there's children in it.
Films now, doesn't he?
Well, there's children and they were eating like plastic and stuff, and I found the film fucking disgusting. And I was telling my lady friend about it, and she said, "Oh, the film which made multiple people vomit in cans and walk out the screening? You found it disgusting, did you?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." It's like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one then." I thought I was being. But
you said it's all right because I'm a big fan of Bronald Block. I've watched enough Bronald Block. It doesn't matter.
Well, I wasn't aware of Bronald Block at the time, you see. Well, it's like Bronald Block came later, and I was sort of inured to it by then. But you see, there was this brilliant film that came out a few years ago called Mad God, and it's all claymation, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Phil
it's
Tippett,
so fucking
Phil
disturbing.
Tippett, the guy who did the stuff for RoboCop, did that.
Yeah, and it
Phil
took him
Tippett
like
also
20
worked
years
on Star Wars,
anime.
I think. There's this really, really good documentary on the Disney Channel. I might make you watch the last episode, because it is heartbreaking. Because it's about Phil Tippett does all of the pre-production work for Jurassic Park, and then George Lucas, the fucking scumbag that he is, goes, "You should be using computer animation, not that old hat." He says to Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg does that, and then they just give Phil Tippett like a special little job to make him feel special while he's on the set.
Well, I'm told that it took him 20 years to animate the thing, and seeing the amount of attention to detail in it, I could well believe. I find it incredible. But the thing is,
he's had 20 years to do it because basically George Lucas put him out of a fucking job.
I mean, I watched it, and it is a brilliant film. But here's the thing: I want to watch it again, but also, I think it's one of those things. It's
and
like,
also,
for example,
what the fuck is going on in that film? Oh, it's the main question that needs to be asked. What the fuck is going on?
Right. So, I will say this, right? It is a brilliant film. I never want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking disturbing.
Yeah. They should do an Epstein Island Lego set, says Dom.
I think I actually saw some AI videos of Lego City build the St. James Island Lego kit with temple and working trapdoor and sulfuric acid containers.
You do know that
dissolved
you do know that
children
Jeffrey Epstein also owns owned, I don't know, Great St. James,
other island,
which is the island right next to it, which is larger.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about Flids with superpowers. So they did. So a Swedish study of 17 autistic adults and 17 non-autistic adults. Those who were autistic reported significantly more incidents of sensing presence, feeling touch, and seeing visions without input of somatosensory stimuli. This is from Visuri 2019. Moreover, the autistic individuals who reported having these experiences tended to explain or make sense of them as encouraging ghosts, spirits, or demons. Although this study includes a small sample, the effect size was large, suggesting the results showing a significant difference between anomalous experiences reported by the autistic versus non-autistic group was robust. Visuri explains that past research shows that up to 95% of autistic individuals have unusual sensory or perceptual experiences. This is unsurprising, considering that sensory sensitivities are common for those who are autistic and are included in the DSM-5 diagnostic criteria. There is also a relationship between sensory integration issues and hallucinations. In a 2024 cross-sectional study including 335 youth aged 6 to 18 at a psychiatry outpatient clinic, there was a significant positive association between sensory processing difficulty scores and hallucinations, even after controlling for autism symptoms. So, auties hallucinate a lot more, apparently.
I got a video there. Did you see the guy? He wants to live stream from Antarctica. He's got a Starlink, so he can upload it.
Yeah.
And the crew on the ship confiscates equipment, so he's not allowed to stream.
Oh.
I mean, they're hiding something in Antarctica, and they're just blatant about it these days.
Well, they've always
You
been
can't fucking see
it, haven't they?
I know, but this was just the latest thing I saw.
We're going to do some unexplained mysteries now.
Do you want to do some unexplained mysteries?
Oh, we've gone from black holes don't exist to could a runaway black hole one day doom our solar system. Scientists develops drinkable vaccine in the form of a glass of beer. Imagine instead of getting an injection, you could take a vaccine simply by downing an alcoholic drink.
Brought to you by Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Bill Gates. At least less said about him, the better. Oh, what really happened to NASA's original moon landing tapes? Okay. Reportedly,
well, they taped over and put EastEnders on them.
You would think that something of monumental importance as the footage from the first manned moon landing would have been preserved like a high-value museum piece, but incredibly, several of the original recordings from the Apollo 11 mission were said to have been wiped out and reused due to a tape shortage in the 70s and 80s.
I just learned a journalistic term today and I've forgotten it, but it's like something law of editorializing, and it stipulates that if the headline has a question mark on it, that's journalist speak for no. So I'll read the headline, and that's why I'm reminded of this. Could a runaway black hole one day doom our solar system? Question mark.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Isn't that a statement, not a question?
Uh,
So at the time, NASA considered these less critical because everything had been broadcast on TV anyway, with copies distributed to networks across the world. According to Dodd, NASA never anticipated that in the future it would be possible to scan and remaster the tapes. You would have thought. You would have
Oh,
thought
did
the.
you
the you would have thought the
unexplained?
organisation that put man on the moon would be a little more forward thinking, wouldn't you?
Hmm. So, Unexplained Mysteries, they have a YouTube channel, and I'm looking in this. This video is called Five People Predicted Their Own Deaths in Strange Ways. So, Arthur Arnold Schonberg is one, Mark Twain is another, Abraham Demora, Mikey Welsh, and the final one is Frank Pastel, which I think is
Yeah.
a very incomplete list because the strangest death prediction on there is King Cobra JFS, who back when he was in his 20s predicted that he would die of a heart attack at the age of 34.
Yeah.
And he died of a heart attack at the age of 34. Well, he died of massive organ failure, but he did have a heart attack.
Chaos as AI sends tourists to attraction that doesn't actually exist.
So, in other words, man believes a bunch of lies and got disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
here we
what's
go.
the
This
what's
is a bit more sci-fi. Next gen magnetoplasma rocket could get humans to Mars in 30 days. Development of a whole new type of rocket engine could help open up the solar system for exploration. Is it an ion drive? Boasting greater efficiency and speed than conventional chemical rockets, plasma engines can one day make a Yeah. Plasma engines work by ionizing propellant gas, so it's an ion engine.
Oh, there's a new bloke that had an explosive shell stuck in his butt.
Oh, well, that happens every fucking week. Both NASA and Russian Space Agency have been working on developing the technology in recent years. Yeah, so what is this? NASA's version include the pulse plasma rocket, right? And the variable specific
Oh, you looking
impulse
at the
magneto
next gen
rocket.
magnetoplasma rocket?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
yeah.
Russia, meanwhile, is working on the magnetoplasma accelerator in Moscow, which, according to reports, could be ready for testing as early as 2030. Elsewhere,
Magnetoplasma sounds
China
like something I'd see in Star Trek. One of those
or
things.
X-Men.
Yeah.
I think what they're saying is we use
time.
magnetism to hold the plasma in place
Yeah.
because it would melt any engine cowling.
Time may not be a fundamental part of reality, physicists suggest.
Well, I've considered this for a while now, but in dreams, I think it's like you know in normal waking world we've got three dimensions which we can move about in. You can go up and down, left and right, backwards, forwards. So
Yeah.
that's your three space dimensions. But you've got one dimension of time. You move forwards in time,
Yeah.
and you can't move back. You can only move forward
Well,
in time.
that depends if you're African or not. If you're African, you stay stationary while time moves through you.
Yeah, if you're a fucking retard, you believe in delusions. Now, dreams are, I would say, they're the opposite of the waking world in that you can only move in one dimension spatially. However, the time is moving in three dimensions, and it's hard to explain. And the reason it's
Isn't
hard to
also
explain is
observation a part of it as well? Because once you realise you're observing yourself in a dream, that's it. It's all done, isn't it?
well, the way I would say it is. In a dream, have you ever circled back on an area you've observed to look at it again? It's different. It's like one of the things I used to do with lucid dreaming, and I don't do it anymore because I don't wear watches regularly anymore, is I would look at my watch and then I'd look away and I'd look at my watch again.
Yeah.
And if I saw two different times on it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm dreaming. And I did it once. I just thought, oh, I'm dreaming. And I thought, what happens if I look at it a third time? And the third time I looked out of it, Yeah, the time was different, but the second and the hour hand, sorry, the minute and the second hand, they had warped out of the glass and were poking out of it. It was obviously the dream to say, "Look, don't take the piss." It's like, oh, okay, sorry.
There's a row in Australia as teachers are told to tell kids about dinosaurs on Noah's Ark. Trump is.
Yeah,
It's really
because
happening, guys. It's happening. It's really happening, Hobbit. Trump is going to be making an alien disclosure speech on the 8th of July. It's really happening.
Oh, did you win an auction on eBay?
I don't know what it was.
Or was it me? Hang on, did I buy anything on eBay? No, I haven't bought anything on eBay. No, I have actually. I did buy something on eBay recently. Oh, I bought a coal shovel.
I think it's
Sorry, we interrupt this show to bring you. Oh, on sale from your wish list.
To just look at our phones.
Yes, yes. No, I just heard the eBay jingle. And it's like, is that my phone or yours? I think it's curious.
Mine. I think it's mine. Is it yours? Oh my God! They're still going on about DB Cooper, for fuck's sake. FBI publishes new 686-page dossier on the DB Cooper mystery. For fuck's sake, the bloke's dead in a fucking forest somewhere.
He's fucking dead, you cunt.
You know the DB Cooper story, don't you, Hobbit?
Actually, no. I know the name and I've forgotten
Man hijacks plane. He's dressed like one of the men in black. Jumps out the window. No one's ever... Jumps out, opens the door, jumps out, got a parachute on him. No one's seen him since.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird story, eh?
Yeah, it's a weird story, but it's not really that interesting. There's nothing to it. Because that's like literally all
it's just like... Oh, okay. No. So
Q Day. When will quantum computers break all encryption? The same day that quantum computers actually exist. They're the biggest bullshit ever.
The same day that we'll have portable Mr. Fusion reactors in our cars.
Yeah.
Good news, everybody. Total War Rome Remastered is 75% off. It's £6.24. So you know what? I'm going to put that in the tender tapes and such, just so that they know.
Yeah.
Because
did you see that bloke that scaled a skyscraper without ropes?
Yeah, he's a French climber, isn't he? He's been arrested a number of times for doing it.
Ark of the Covenant may have had a different purpose, an Egyptian says.
It's a radiation weapon, isn't it?
He argues that rather than holding the original tablets inscribed with the Ten Commandments, the Ark may have instead been modelled after Egyptian shrines that were designed to hold statues or idols. By comparison, the Ark would have been empty. A demonstration of the fact that God's presence did not require a physical representation, in stark contrast to its Egyptian contemporaries. Its ornate appearance helped to invert and reject the rigid religious norms of the time, with the Ark's decorative cherubium representing a sacred space not inside it but above it. Whatever the fuck that means.
Right. Cool.
I think we're all done.
Pretty much. Yeah, so like what I thought was going to be a light-hearted show turned to like, here's stuff Jeffrey Epstein's been fucking with.
Yeah, it's the big news now, isn't it? It's nutty.
It literally will be a case of, if I fall down on the banana peel in the street, it'll be like, Epstein was behind this.
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
So the Interdimensional says we should do either a Mariana Spring doll with a string on her back or Brian Cox.
Yes.
Isn't it amazing? It could go, it's amazing, couldn't it?
Isn't it amazing how I've got a career on the BBC and Tony Blair used my music in his theme song back when he got elected in 1997? Hey up, blood. I am from Newcastle.
Are you doing Brian Cox accent, or are you just going to do a Geordie one up it?
Where is Brian Cox from? It's been
Brian
a long
Cox
time
is
since
like
I've
Manchester, I think, isn't he? He's like Lancashire.
Isn't it amazing how fucking amazing I am? I'm a
He's like
professor of
Lancashire, isn't
particle
he?
physics.
Like Kimberley.
I'd
No,
have
I
to.
could
Oh
never
my
stand.
god,
I couldn't stand that fucking sketch by Victoria Wood. Kimberley. She used to
he's.
say Kimberley in a Yorkshire accent.
Have,
And it was
have you
supposed
looked
to be
at it?
funny.
Have you looked at his face? Right, he's got a big, huge honker of a nose and
Yeah.
massive fish lips. He looks like that other weirdo that's English. He's apparently in the biggest podcast in the UK. What's his
Oh,
name? Do
Rory
you know the one
Stewart.
I'm
He
on
looks like
about?
Rory Stewart, doesn't
Fuck me, yeah. Do they go to the same synagogue?
he? Probably. Right. Anyway,
Yeah.
That's us done for another week. Stay
Also, fuck
spooky
me.
and don't take money off of Jeffrey Epstein.
And if you want to win the lottery, ask him what the next numbers are.
Yeah. Good night, people.